Welcome to this video, which is going to be about classes in F#. We're going to focus on just how to initialize a class in this video, so it's going to be very basic, and then we're going to use this to build upon classes and define some of the more interesting features that we have in F#. So to start this off, let's just define a class, and we would use the type keyword for this, and I would call it my class like this. Whenever we define a class, we need to use the parenthesis to indicate that it is, in fact, a class, and then we would use the equals keyword, like we usually do. And we would define the body of the class with indentation, as we've seen in function definition, for example, in previous videos. So in here, we would use either the let or the member keyword to define various attributes of this class. And if we begin with the let keyword, we could define something like number 1, and we give that a value of 2, like this. That would work. And we can also do a similar thing with function, so we can define a function in here. Let's just do my function, and that takes a parameter a, let's say, and it's going to return a plus 1. All right, so that also seems to work. What we cannot do, however, is to define something like this. We cannot set a public access modifier to the let keyword. So number 1 here would be what you're familiar with as a private member of this class. So we wouldn't be able to access that from outside of the class. And if we try to make this publicly accessible using the public keyword, that would not work. So if I write public and then number 2, for example, and try to initialize this like that, you're going to see that we get an error here. And that is going to tell us that this value or multiple visibility attribute have been specified for this identifier, let bindings, and so forth. We're not allowed to use this sort of annotation, or we're not allowed to make let members public in this way. What we would do instead, if we want something public, is we would use the member keyword. So we would say member, and here we need to use some form of name. It doesn't have to be self, but this name here indicates that it's a member of this particular class, and regardless of what we put it, it's going to work just fine. So let's use self for now, and then num3, let's say, and that's going to be equal to 2 again. And you can see that this works. And if I wanted to here, I could replace self with a. Like, there's nothing magical about the word self or exactly how we pick it. So we can pick whatever we want, but it's used to link the class to the particular attribute that we're defining. And we can do something similar to what we tried before, but the other way around. So private, and then we can define like self.num4 like this. And that's going to compile now. So with these members, you can make them private if you want to. They're going to be public by default, but you can make them private. However, with let initializations, you cannot make those public. So for now, that's where we're going to end it when it comes to just how we define the classes. I'm going to show you how to initialize them as well. So we would use let and then some name. I'm just going to call it my class with uncapitalized M in the beginning. And then we would reference the class name, which is my class like this, and then parentheses. So this will initiate the class for us. Now, you will notice here that we're not using a new keyword. And if you're familiar with how we define things in C#, for example, you would know that usually we put a new keyword in front of this. We can still do that. So if I write my class 2 like this, and then initialize it using the new keyword, I can still do that. So this works just fine, and we get no compilation issues. For now, we're simply going to say that these are equivalent. There are some small differences, but we're not going to look at that now. So for today, this is where we're going to end it. In the next video, we're going to build upon this. So please check that one out as well. And thank you very much for watching.